Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is December 13th, 2023, and Barcelona have secured a new sponsor. Also, the operation to sign a left winger will be a priority come this summer transfer market. And finally, Zubimendi could be the key to unlocking the signing of Joshua Kimmich. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and as I mentioned before, I'm currently out of the country on vacation for the holidays, but of course I brought my camera and laptop with me so I can bring you the most up-to-date Barcelona news. And I didn't do videos the last 2 days. I was sick and I was also traveling, so there's a lot of news that I need to share with you. So this is the second video of today. This is 2 out of 2 videos. If you haven't seen the first one, head to my channel and make sure you watch it. There's a lot of news in that one as well. Now, having said all that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the gift bag. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. Both links are down below in the description. Now let's begin with the news. And this time it's good news because Barcelona have secured a new sponsor. Now, as we've been talking about for quite some time, Barcelona, in order to get out of the financial hole that they're currently in order to pay off their debt and fix the club financially, they've been looking to not only cut expenses, but also to increase revenues in order to, again, salvage the club financially speaking. And one way to increase the revenues is, of course, through new sponsorships. And that's exactly what Barcelona have been doing. They've been hard at work to find new sponsors. And while Barcelona have found a new sponsor, which is MCW Casinos. And this is a company that's very common in southern part of Asia. So this is kind of like Barcelona's way to expand into the Asian market. And Barcelona have signed this new sponsorship and it's reported that MCW Casinos will pay Barcelona around 2.53 million euros, so 2.5 million euros for this new sponsorship, which of course is great addition to Barcelona's coffers, given the financial difficulties that the club are currently facing. Now, this will be Barcelona's 28th new sponsor, which is a huge testament to the hard work that Joan Laporta and his board of directors are currently doing. More specifically, Julie Gouy, he's the person in charge of the marketing, and he's the person who's been hard at work to look for a new sponsor. Of course, it's something difficult to do these days with how bad the team has been performing. But nonetheless, Julie Gouy has been absolutely key and instrumental in finding new sponsors, including MCW Casinos, that will be paying Barcelona around 2.5 million euros for the sponsorship. And this will be Barcelona's way to expand into the Asian markets. Now, speaking of Barcelona increasing their revenues, it's reported that Barcelona are currently following, excuse me, again, I'm still sick. Barcelona will be following kind of like the US marketing strategy when it comes to matches once the new Spotify Camp Nou is renovated and open to the public. And what I mean by US marketing strategy is if you ever been to a US NFL match in the US or maybe an NBA match in the US, it's not just a match. You don't just show up to the match and go home. There's usually events before the match. Sometimes there's events after the match, live DJs, maybe mini concerts, events, interactive events for the kids, things like that. And that's exactly what Barcelona will try to emulate with the US market, where before Barcelona matches at the new Spotify Camp Nou, they're going to have, live music, concerts, DJs, events. That way people can come to the stadium, hours before the match. They can spend time there with their families, with their loved ones, then head to the match, watch it, and then come out and maybe do more events. That way that would help Barcelona generate more money, because that way people are not just buying the tickets to go watch the match, but they're also spending money outside the stadium in the events, buying merchandise, buying food, etc. And that way Barcelona can continue to raise the money. Now, once the Spotify Camp Nou is completely finished and open to the public, which is not going to happen until 2026, Barcelona will play matches starting November of next year, but the stadium is not going to be fully ready until 2026. But once that happens, once the stadium is fully renovated, fully done. It's expected that the stadium will generate 347 million euros for Barcelona every season. And this is, excuse me, this is a conservative estimate, 347 million euros per season. There are some estimates that are saying that Barcelona could generate 500 million euros per season from the newly renovated Spotify Camp Nou. So a great way for Barcelona to increase their revenues. Now, more news. This one not as good, and it does involve Messinho. We all know about Esteban William, nicknamed Messinho, a player that Barcelona has been tracking for quite some time. He's kind of considered the next gem coming out of Brazil. Of course, he's only 16 years old, so he can't come to Spain until he's 18 years old. Barcelona have been tracking him. Deco wants to sign him. Deco has been in touch with Messinho's entourage, and Messinho has said on multiple occasions that he wants to go to Barcelona, that it's his dream to go to Barcelona, but there could be a problem because it's reported that Chelsea are looking to make an offer for Messinho this winter transfer market. Now, PSG have already made offers for the player. They have been rejected by his current club, but it's reported that Chelsea want to make an offer this winter transfer market because it would be cheaper than making it next summer. And it's reported that they want to make around a 40 million euro offer, where it's reported that in the summer it could go up to 50 million euros, which would be out of reach for Barcelona. Now, we are going to have to wait and see what happens once the offer is made by Chelsea, whether it's going to be accepted by Messinho, whether he will wait for Barcelona, because it is, after all, his dream. Now, more news about signings, which is the left wing. Barcelona's main objectives this upcoming summer is going to be two. Number one is to sign a pivot. Number two is to sign someone for the left wing, a proper winger, because Barcelona currently don't have a proper winger for the left. They only have Joao Felix, who's not really a proper winger. He's more of a second striker. And while the two options that Barcelona are considering are the two guys that you see on your screen right now, which are, of course, Savinho and Leroy Sané. Savinho is Deco's number one option. He's a 19-year-old left winger who's currently on loan from the French team Troyes to Girona. He's been in spectacular form in La Liga so far. He's been doing really well at Girona, and Barcelona have been tracking him for quite some time. And it's reported that Deco has made official contacts with Savinho's entourage to let him know that Barcelona will try to sign him this summer. The second option for the left wing in the summer will be Leroy Sané, but this will all depend on whether the player will decide to renew his contract with Bayern Munich. Now, Leroy Sané's contract does not expire until the summer of 2025. Bayern Munich are currently trying to renew his contract. He's refusing to renew his contract. We don't know why yet. We don't know if he really wants to leave or whether he's using this as a tactic to increase the offer. We don't know that yet. But if Leroy Sané does not renew his contract with Bayern Munich by the summer of 2024, then Barcelona will enter the race for the left winger. So for now, number one option is Savinho. Leroy Sané is a possibility, but only if the German winger does not renew his contract with Bayern Munich. Now, speaking of Bayern Munich, Zubimendi could be the key to unlock Joshua Kimmich. Now, I just mentioned, in the summer, Barcelona have two objectives. Number one, to sign a pivot. Number two, to sign a left winger. A left winger, like we said, it could be either Savinho or Leroy Sané. As far as the pivot, Xabi's two favorite options are Zubimendi and Joshua Kimmich. Now, Joshua Kimmich currently is having problems at Bayern Munich. He's not really fitting into the new project. He's not getting as much playing time as possible. So now there are growing voices within Bayern Munich who are starting to debate on whether Bayern Munich should offload Joshua Kimmich next summer and sign a new pivot. Now, who's their new favorite option? Zubimendi, which is Xabi's favorite option. Now, Real Sociedad, where Zubimendi currently plays, wants 60 million euros, which is the release clause of Zubimendi. Otherwise, they're not parting way with the players. Now, 60 million euros for Barcelona is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money for Bayern Munich. So if Bayern Munich does pay the 60 million euros for Zubimendi, and Zubimendi does end up going to the Bundesliga club, Bayern Munich will have to get rid of Kimmich, and Barcelona will then enter the race for Kimmich because, of course, his price will be much more affordable now that Bayern Munich would be willing to sell him. Because last summer, Barcelona were interested, but Bayern Munich said absolutely not. Kimmich is not for sale. Now things are changing at Bayern Munich. They are considering selling him. And if they do sell him, then Barcelona could buy him. That's, of course, if Bayern Munich do sign Martin Zubimendi. So there is the possibility of Barcelona signing Kimmich if Bayern Munich do end up signing Zubimendi, which is Xavi's favorite option for the pivot position. Now, while we're still on the topic of Bayern Munich, the last bit of news is about Ronald Araujo. Of course, there's been a lot of talks in the media that Bayern Munich want to sign Ronald Araujo. There was that report saying that supposedly Araujo spoke to Tuchel on the phone. That was denied by Araujo himself. That was denied by Bayern Munich. But despite that, it's reported that Bayern Munich will still insist on signing Ronald Araujo this upcoming summer. Excuse me. And that they're willing to offer 80 million euros for the Uruguayan defender. Of course, they can offer all the money they want. Barcelona's stance remains the same. Ronald Araujo is not for sale. If Bayern Munich or any other club want to sign him, they can pay his release clause, which is 1 billion euros. And of course, Ronald Araujo does not want to leave the club. So even if Bayern Munich offers the 1 billion euros, if Ronald Araujo doesn't want to leave, then nobody can force him to leave. Anyways, that's all the news. Again, I'm out of the country, but I will be bringing you these short live streams every day, or I'll try to bring you these short live streams every day. They're going to be, 10-minute live streams. No interaction with the chat section, just because, again, I'm away from my YouTube studio. So I'm just trying to keep you up to date on all the Barcelona news. Anyways, thank you for watching. This is, again, 2 out of the second video today. If you haven't watched the first one, go back to my channel and watch it. But thank you for watching. Thank you for likes and your subscriptions. Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow. And as always, Visca Barça.